one monument that they raised the funds for that beautiful bronze plaque, but they were having some trouble raising the funds for the boulder. Well, a number of individuals, the Gray Dickinson Post number 59 at the American Legion and its Women's Auxiliary had raised $3,000 for the project. The town of Windsor indicated that it would come in, but they didn't think it would be bigger than the bronze plaque by that point. So they began looking around for a sculptor. And it turned out that they had somebody amazing right in their own backyard here in Windsor. Evelyn Longman Batchelder was nationally renowned. She was the first woman sculptor accepted as a full member of the National Academy of Design. And she had an active sculpting career when it was rare to find women in sculpture. She did civic and memorial monuments, portraits, doorways. She did the Horsford Library at Wellesley, the Memorial Chapel doors at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. She had some commissions for medals. And her Windsor story begins in 1918. Longman was invited to Windsor by Nathaniel Horton Batchelder, who was the headmaster of the Loomis Institute. His wife had died after giving birth to their first child, and Batchelder had seen one of Longman's sculptures called Consecration and decided that this was the person that he wanted to make a memorial to his late wife. So in the course of this project, Evelyn and Nathaniel fell in love, and Evelyn Longman married the headmaster in 1920, despite her fears that she really wouldn't be able to maintain her sculpting career. Now, Nathaniel Horton Batchelder wanted very much for her to continue, so he built his wife a studio on campus called Chislehurst on Farmington, and it's an amazing building. We've given tours on the Loomis campus, and actually Karen Parsons, who's the archivist, gives an amazing tour where she focuses on Evelyn Longman Batchelder's sculpture. So if you ever get a chance to take one of Karen's tours. So Evelyn worked very hard to balance the demands of being a wife and a mother and a headmaster's wife and hostess. And the story goes that she would get up before it was for her wife to work, and then she'd have to return to be there for breakfast with the students as the headmistress's wife. And she managed it very well. She was loved by her stepson, by the Loomis students, and she continued to produce sculptural pieces for national audiences. So it was Evelyn Longman Batchelder who designed and executed the model for this sculpture in her studio. She donated her services to the town of Windsor. And the Hartford Courant covering all of this noted that, quote, Mrs. Batchelder said that she cherishes the hope that her example may interest other artists throughout the whole country to donate their best memorial pieces of a similar nature for their own home areas. So in the end, individuals contributed about $6,000 to cover the cost of the materials and other expenses. And Evelyn Longman Batchelder sent a cancel bill for her services designing and making the memorial. Quote, in order that there may be no misconception in regard to her actual donation of time and material, her skill in her studio to this project. So the cancel bill was approximately $6,000. So you look at this gorgeous piece and you think, $6,000,
yeah, right.
$10,000 altogether.
So she broadened the original concept of the monument from a memorial to honor World War, the Great War veterans, to a monument to honor all townspeople who had helped to defend the tiny settlement in times of Indian menace, to represent the state while trying to maintain the integrity of the Union. So there's your Civil War. To assist the Union in its attempt to straighten out the Mexican and Hispanic difficulties, and most recently to serve America in the World War. This monument is a perpetual memorial to all Patriots of Windsor, whether they served in a civil or military capacity in peace or in war. So it was dedicated November 3rd. The eagle is 5 foot high, has a 9-foot wingspan. It weighs about 5,500 pounds. It was apparently just a beast to cast. It was modeled on a stuffed specimen owned by Windsor taxidermist Eugene Hathaway, and the design took a year and a half. It was cast by the Roman Bronze Works in Corona, Long Island, and the stones of the base were assembled by McGovern Granite Company. And Batchelder did all of the lettering herself. She was very, very good at lettering. She worked with Daniel Chester So,
Statue.
yeah, the interesting thing is that
French. Yeah, if you go from the business. You see a tiny model of it.
so she was top shelf. So her initial design showed the eagle as much more menacing. It included a snake twisting in the grass with the eagle's talons symbolizing the enemy. And it may have been that Batchelder toned the design down a little as she and the committee broadened their concept of patriots to include residents who served in a civil or military capacity. So once in place, the Hartford Electric Light Company spent a number of evenings experimenting with arrangements to light the sculpture at night. And so from the time of its unveiling, this has been a source of considerable town pride. It was used, I think it was the Windsor Chamber of Commerce's logo. They just redesigned their logo, but for a long time it was a new symbol for the Windsor Chamber of Commerce. There are other works by Evelyn Longman Batchelder that I said could be seen around the campus of Loomis Chaffee School. I think there is a piece in the Grace Episcopal Church. It's a Madonna. It's, yeah. I'm not sure it's on the main altar, but it's in the back altar. Yeah, and it's gorgeous. So that's Evelyn Longman Batchelder and the Eagle.
She also has a piece in Hartford. Yeah, big piece.
Which piece is that?
Yeah, Bushville Park.